Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about houseplants that do really well in the UK climate. I'm personally from the UK and all of these plants are growing really well for me, so maybe you'll discover some new plants today that you'd like to add to your collection.
So first up we have the Aglaonema Silver Queen, and this one I could highly recommend. It's so easy to care for and it always looks absolutely beautiful. This one actually copes really well with low light as well. It actually does thrive in low light, and in fact it seems to prefer to be kept out of direct sun. So if you have a slightly darker area in your home that doesn't get too much light, then this is a really good plant for that choice. And also it gets through the winter really well, because with it being a low light loving plant, it doesn't really throw a tantrum when the light gets less so during the winter months. So yeah, this one's really easy. I just let the soil dry out in between waterings and make sure that it's in a well draining chunky mix, and it seems really happy. I find this one a real joy to grow, and I think you might too. Another plant that I've been growing for a number of years here in the UK is the Schefflera, or the umbrella plant, and this is the one that I've had for the longest. This one has got through several winters, several growing seasons, and it really is a survivor. It does like to dry out between waterings again, and I just make sure to keep it in a nice chunky, well draining mix. And it really is one of those plants that I just never worry about, basically. And this winter, mine has even been putting out new growth. It doesn't usually do that, but yeah, after a few years of settling in, it does seem to be growing throughout winter as well, which is really good. So it's made some good progress. And then another plant that I have been growing for years is a rubber plant. This is one of my rubber plants. I do have several. This one is a branched version, and these just seem so hardy. They do like a lot of light. However, this one never seems to suffer when it gets darker during the winter. It always seems happy, and yeah, I know some people find these a little bit finicky, but personally I've found them to be really good growers here in the UK. I think the key to caring for rubber plants is don't move them around too much. Ficus plants don't really like to be moved around too much. Kind of find a nice spot for it and leave it there, and it will generally be quite happy as long as you are consistent with the watering for this one. And then another plant that I also really enjoy growing here in the UK is the Epipremnum Marble Queen. This one again is just so easy. It grows so beautifully, and you can have this one trailing or climbing. This one in particular I'm showing you is a trailing version, but this one just grows so well, and yeah, it does slow down a bit in winter for me, but during the growing season I find it grows very fast as well. Another plant that I am just absolutely loving is the string of hearts, and I find this one really easy to grow so long as you let that soil dry out before you water it again. That's pretty much the key to this one. Don't overwater it. Don't be afraid to let the soil dry out. I did repot mine into a nice chunky soil mix, and it seems really happy. Also, it likes to get plenty of bright indirect light, and other than that, it seems really easy. And another plant that I find really satisfying to grow is this snake plant. This is the moonshine snake plant, and I just absolutely love how this one comes through with lighter coloured leaves, and then they kind of go off into a green colour. You can never really see the colours for this one properly on camera, but it really is a gorgeous snake plant, and I always like to recommend this one because it's a bit different to the other kind of snake plants that are available. And then another plant that I really enjoy growing is the Philodendron Florida Green. And most philodendrons, to be honest, seem to grow really well here in the UK. And this is one of my newest ones, and it's growing just as well as my others. This one has settled in so well. It's looking so healthy. I would definitely recommend this one. I know a lot of people tend to go for the Florida Ghost, but this one is just as good, and yeah, I could highly recommend. This is the Syngonium Neon Robusta, and this one is just gorgeous. It gives a nice splash of pink, and I find that if you give it lots of good bright indirect light, it will be pinker, so definitely don't keep this one in a lower light area. But yeah, I just find Syngoniums to grow so well for me, and this one has really been a survivor for me. It's even come through pests just fine. It seems really robust, and yeah, if you can get your hands on one of these, I would definitely recommend it. And another plant that I have just loved growing is this Epipremnum Neon, and this one was so tiny when I got it, and honestly it has just grown so fast. And most of the growth I've had from this one has just been from normal ambient conditions here in the UK. I do have grow lights now, but most of the growth you see on this one came before the grow lights, so it definitely doesn't seem too fussy about light. But yeah, this one's really satisfying if you're looking to grow like a really big trailing plant to fill a space on a shelf or something, then I would definitely highly recommend this one. It really does grow so well and so easily, and yeah, like the other plants I mentioned, just let it dry out. And then another one is this Sansevieria Fernwood. This is a type of snake plant, and I just really love how this one grows. It is super easy. I mean, it couldn't get any easier than this plant. And yeah, it grows really well, and it's just really drought tolerant, and I find that it's pretty tolerant of any conditions I've put it here in the UK. I've moved it around a bit, and it's definitely not fussy. It just grows really nicely, and yeah, I couldn't recommend this one enough.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.